So I went through high school. I excelled in school, really good at grades. Never took a book home in my life. If I heard it, I remembered it, and I'm just one of those people, gifted beyond everything and just really gifted. And, did some sports and stuff and graduated. I was the first person in my family to ever graduate high school, you know. Hell, I thought it was a pretty special deal. I thought maybe he might even show up, but he didn't. And that kind of hurt a lot. Him not coming to my ball games hurt a lot. So when I came out of high school, I wanted to go to college to become an architect. That's what I wanted to do. So leaving, I went and visited him to remind him that I'd graduated and I was going to go to college now. And his reply was, well, I hope you don't want anything from me. Why would I? You've not given me anything yet. He never supported us. My stepfather supported us. My dad never did shit for us. And when I went to see him and he came back with that attitude, he just couldn't say, I'm proud of you. That's all I wanted. And he just couldn't say it. And so a few nights later, I was watching the wrestling matches. He was performing that night, and I'd had several beers. And my young mind decided, gee, if you want your dad to love you, what you need to do is get in the ring and beat up one of those wrestlers. That damn beer gets killed, man. I went up and challenged a guy, and the guy knew who I was, thank God, because he could have really hurt me bad. But instead, he just kept me in the ring for about 15 minutes. He stretched me, really horrible task.
How old were you roughly?
I was 18.
18, okay.
18, and made me urinate on myself, and I didn't think that was possible, but it is. Had me squealing like a little girl. He hurt me, but he didn't break anything. So I basically crawled out of the ring. I was hurting so bad and crying, and I was a mess. And my father met me at the door and looked at me and he said, I'm ashamed of you. You're gutless and you'll never amount to anything. Thanks. That's what I needed. So I remember that night like yesterday. It still hurts. And that night's the night I made a deal with the devil. I decided to toss my dreams out the window of becoming an architect. I was going to become a wrestler and be a better wrestler than my father, or die trying. And the deal I made with the devil was, I'll do anything I need to. Cheat, lie, steal, whatever. But I'm going to surpass him one way or the other. And that was the commitment I made. And that was the only commitment I honored. And I started out by refereeing, which was a wise move. I never went to a wrestling school. I did the trial and error method. Not smart. Because everybody that touched me wanted to make an example of me, or they wanted to get even with my father.
I was going to say that, yeah.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that. I'd be in a match and get whacked, man. What the hell was that about? Tell your old man, he'll know. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why don't you go give it to him? And yeah, I had a lot of that, but I didn't give up. I kept in there. I was probably the worst ever in the ring starting out, because I didn't know how to lock up. I knew nothing. And to make it even worse, I had what I call vapor lock. When the bell would ring, I would freeze. And you could not bend my arms. You couldn't bend my back, my head, nothing. I'd just freeze. And you'd go completely stiff. You know?
Was that more anxiety?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was all anxiety.
Yeah.
And I would hold my breath so I almost passed out, you know. And meanwhile, the other guy's trying to have a match with me, you know.
Yeah.
So I got punished in there too. So that went on like that for about a year and a half. And that's not easy to do because I was lasting on the average of 6 weeks to 2 months in each area I went before they fired me. Because I was the shits. I was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Shouldn't even been in the ring, you know, but because I was big, they didn't mind beating me up.
Yeah.
But after exhausting all the places to go down south, I was in Kansas City, and a friend of mine that finally got me out of that shell, that vapor lock thing, was Buck Robley. And he was the booker, so to speak, ran things for Kansas City, and my boss and my friend. And he had kept me off television because he knew that if I went on television, that my time would be even shorter, you know, in that area. So he kept me off TV, and hell, I'd been there 6 months. He was trying to help. But I think he finally figured out what the problem was. And he called me one morning. It was a TV day, so I knew I wasn't going to do anything. And he called me and told me to come up to his apartment, which was just above me. I went up and he says, "Roll us a joint." What? Roll us a joint. Okay. Roll us a joint. Light it. Okay. Smoke it. Okay. You know, roll us another one. And another one. This was pretty good weed. And I got to where I couldn't even talk. I was like, and really messed up. And that's when he said, "Go get your gear. You're wrestling today on television." No way, man. No way I can do that, dude. Had the best match of my life because I finally relaxed.
Relaxed.
You know?
Crazy. It's crazy, huh?
Released it.
Yeah, yeah.
And from that point, I started shooting straight up. I mean, it was crazy. Could not believe why I've been stuck in that vapor lock bullshit for so long when all I had to do was just go out and have fun.